Are you looking for peace of mind at your doorstep? Look no further. With the Blink Video Doorbell, your home's entrance is always within your control. Check out the link in the video description to learn more and get your Blink Video Doorbell on Amazon. Your home is in your hands.
While Ismail Haniyeh was described as moderate and pragmatic by the BBC yesterday, the bloodthirsty Hamas terror leader was anything but. As his terrorists poured over the border to rape and slaughter 1,200 Israelis on October 7, he was seen watching gleefully on a TV from his luxury apartment in Doha. Later, referring to the atrocity, he told his followers, "The blood of the women, the children and the elderly, we are the ones who need this blood, so it awakens within us the revolutionary spirit." Born in a refugee camp in Gaza while it was under Egyptian control in 1963, Haniyeh became a founding member of Hamas. Rising through the ranks, he was jailed by Israel for 3 years in 1989 before being exiled to Lebanon. He returned to Gaza, and by the time Israel withdrew in 2005 he was head of the Hamas office in the Strip. He finally became leader of the political bureau in 2017 and moved to Qatar. But Israel considered him one of the key players in the October 7 attack and has hunted down his family throughout the war. When his sons were killed last April, he showed little emotion. "May God have mercy on them," he said. As the U.S. would not allow the Israelis to strike while he was on Qatari soil, given it is an ally, they finally took their chance while he visited Tehran. He was seen chanting "Death to Israel, Death to America" in Iran on Monday. Less than 12 hours later, he was dead. A BBC article stated on Wednesday, despite his tough rhetoric, he was generally seen by analysts as moderate and pragmatic, compared to the more hardline Gaza-based leaders. On the BBC Radio for Today program earlier yesterday, a presenter stated, Ismail Haniyeh had been overseeing talks on a new ceasefire and hostage release deal. Despite his tough rhetoric, he was generally seen by analysts as moderate and pragmatic, compared to the more hardline Gaza-based leaders. Last night, critics slated the BBC for their account of Ismail Haniyeh, which was repeated multiple times on and published online on Wednesday. Dave Rich, author of Everyday Hate, How Anti-Semitism is Built into Our World, How You Can Change It, said, if Ismail Haniyeh was moderate and pragmatic as every media outlet claims, that means his open Jew hate and repeated calls for the violent destruction of Israel are of moderate and pragmatic position to hold. And what does that tell us about the status of Jews today? Labour MP Mike Tapp, a former Solider, told The Sun, Ismail Haniyeh was a dedicated anti-Semite and the leader of a proscribed, genocidal terrorist group which on October 7 perpetrated the deadliest massacre of Jews since the Holocaust. To describe such an individual as moderate and pragmatic is grotesque and an absolute disgrace. Greg Smith, conservative shadow business and trade minister, added, it's absolutely outrageous for the BBC to dare call a Hamas terror chief moderate. In what reality can the head of an organization responsible for so much death, sexual violence, and hate be called moderate? Hamas want to wipe Israel from the face of the earth and kill Jewish people simply because they are Jewish, yet the BBC think they're pragmatic. Earlier this year, former Attorney General Sir Michael Ellis said that the BBC was institutionally anti-Semitic and has inflamed community tensions due to its biased reporting of the Gaza conflict. He also said that the broadcaster's impartiality had been brought into disrepute over its coverage of Israel and Hamas. Opening a Westminster Hall debate on the subject, he warned that the corporation's reporting had fueled the appalling rise of anti-Semitism and harmed diplomatic efforts to bring an end to the violence. The incident he was referring to, an explosion at the Al-Ali Arab Hospital, was initially reported by the BBC as being caused by an Israeli airstrike. It later admitted it was wrong after growing evidence emerged that it was due to a failed rocket launch by terrorist group Islamic Jihad. But the dispute sparked a row with Israel, and there were suggestions it could have contributed to U.S. President Joe Biden abandoning his Middle East peace summit at the time. The BBC has found itself at the center of ever-increasing controversy in recent years, and it is the organization's coverage of the Israel-Hamas war, which has led it to comprehensively fail the British public, said Sir Michael, who is